nearing the end of the year, the end of 2025.
Yeah. Being happy about the end of the year is exhausting. We've kind of done it like 5 times in a row now. Or more. I mean, arguably more.
I think this is probably the happiest end of a year for me and my personal life right now
Mm,
that I've had.
you're in a good spot.
Um, I thank you. Yeah, I am in a good spot. Like all my tests for teaching and all that stuff's all done and like over and done with. Um, my little baby nephew's adorable and he's like talking more and my brother got engaged and like everything's my family is doing really well. So like I'm like, hey, you know what? I'm looking forward to next year. It's a weird feeling. I've
Mm.
not been looking forward to the next year in a long time.
Mm.
So yeah.
This is low energy. That's okay though. It. This is very clearly going to be just sort of a pre-Christmas chill episode. I think mostly for the most part.
That's perfectly fine. I got stuff I can talk about
I got a couple
because I've
things.
been
Yeah.
doing do you want to start or should I?
Uh, I'll start with the one that made me a little annoyed, and then we can move on to happier things because I'm presuming you have happier things,
Yeah.
and then I can also talk about happier things, and we can sandwich the crap. Not even sandwich, but like I don't fucking know. Just say the crap and be done with it.
Yeah. Get the crap out of the way, then we can be jolly and cheerful.
Yeah. So the award stuff happened, and now there is award stink as of recording. This is probably going to come out a little bit late in terms of
Yeah.
current news zeitgeist. Uh,
Everybody be using that AI.
so I'm gonna date this right now. We are recording on the 21st of December. So if things have changed since then, fair enough. Just keep that in mind. Uh, so some stupid shit happened. Uh, Expedition 33 came out and was Game of the Year for pretty much everybody. And then it surfaced that at some point, like months ago, uh, someone pointed out on Reddit that there was an asset that was like a newspaper around a pole or something that looked like it was AI created, AI generated. And the devs were like, "Oh, we missed one. It's a placeholder asset. We'll just replace it right now, and it'll be done." So they did, and it was gone. And then nobody really cared until it won all the awards. And it turns out the Indie Game Awards, which we're not going to have the fucking argument again about, well, not that it was really an argument, but yeah, Expedition 33 was up for that and won that. But they withdrew the award because the Indie Game Awards have a zero tolerance policy for AI use. Like,
Hmm.
absolutely zero tolerance. If you use it in any capacity, then you are disqualified from the awards. Personally, I feel like that's exactly the wrong organization to do that sort of zero tolerance law because, like, yes, obviously, gigantic corporations are misusing AI in stupid ways to try and replace all of their workers. And that's really, really bad. And it leads to terrible products anyway, so they're never going to win any awards anyway. It's also a tool that supposedly, and we'll get into that, can streamline production, make it cheaper and faster, and allow smaller companies to maybe make something with a little more heft to it by speeding up some of the like more humdrum aspects of development and focus on the creative ones and all the stuff that actually takes time and needs workers to actually work on it. Supposedly. So it is probably a tool that is more useful to small indie developers than it is to big, gigantic corporations that can afford to hire real people. That said, zero tolerance policies in general are, I would kind of just say they're always a bad idea because the moment you have the edgiest of edge cases, and there will be the edgiest of edge cases, you have to screw someone over. And there's just no way around that. So this has blown up from Expedition 33 used AI for concept art and placeholder assets just to, slap some shit down and get a general feel of what an environment is going to look like, kind of thing. And then stripped everything but seemingly one from the game and replaced it with real work. That has turned from that into the entire game is AI and it is worthless and trash and everyone should hate it now, which is not true in the slightest. That is just, it's popular now, so we need to hate it. That is just vitriol. It's worthless. It's a worthless opinion.
Now, one of the biggest, issues specifically with AI and its ethical use is the fact that it is trained on and uses art from other artists without their consent. That's the biggest ethical thing aside from that, and trying to replace people's real jobs.
Yep.
So the first question that I think should be asked is, I'm not going to say that you can't use it as a tool, because it is a tool, right?
Yeah.
The question is, okay, so if you used it, how were you using it? Should be a question that's asked, but I've not heard anybody ask that question.
I would say concept art and just placeholder assets are probably the exact right way to use it. That is taking... basically just throwing out stuff that is there that is generally the right sort of thing, the right sort of feel. That kind of thing, before AI, that was just finding the right kind of images and then just throwing them into the project anyway, with the expectation that you're going to toss them out afterwards and replace them with the actual work. That's kind of the point. It's the quick and dirty stuff that you don't leave in the game. And in terms of AI use, the quick and dirty stuff that you don't leave in the game, yes, exactly. You want, even in the case of it being trained on other people's work, you are not selling that other person's work in any way, even as an AI recreation of something similar to something they've done. It is literally not their work anymore. You replaced it with art from your company.
Mm-hmm.
We could get into a deeper conversation of using AI at all, because then the AI developer makes money from it, which means they're profiting from... But that's really getting into the weeds and a different conversation, really. I don't think it is the developer's responsibility to take on the responsibility of the decisions made by the creators of the tools that they use. That's a step too far beyond reasonable expectations of responsibility.
I can see there being the case of, well, we have difficulty trusting that people are being honest with how they're using it and that it is used in an ethical way, right?
Yep.
I could see where that line of thought would come from, because when you're dealing with corporations or any group of organizations, you really can't guarantee honesty when stuff is happening behind closed doors. So I can see the logic there.
Yeah, you can't, but at the same time, you have to wait to prove dishonesty. You can't just assume everyone is a bad actor. Because,
yeah,
I mean, there are a lot of companies that we know are bad actors, and we still buy their shit. So let's not be hypocrites about this. If you can prove that they have been using it dishonestly and were acting in bad faith and all of that, then absolutely you can rake them over the coals. Something Nintendo. I'm not going to get into it. So, that is a thing that is unreasonable to do for someone that has not shown any kind of deceit or anything like that. I will say, Sandfall, sorry, I had to remember the name. They did fib a bit when they said that AI was not used in the game. That is a half truth, and I will acknowledge that. As far as they knew, there
Yeah.
were no AI assets in the game. AI was used in the development process of the game.
Yes, and I think it's the element of it being, not 100% upfront, which is what was the main issue, is my understanding.
Mm. And then we have the other half of this little hubbub that has brewed, and this one is just straight up lying. This one is just absolute hit piece bullshit, and Jason Schreier should be ashamed of himself. So, Larian's Sven Vinke, I want to say. I don't know how to pronounce the last name. I've heard Winker, I'm not sure. Jason Schreier did an interview with him, and the result of that interview was an article that basically said Sven Vinke wants Larian Studios to go super hard into AI and replace all of his workers and all that kind of shit. And this blew up for a while, and Larian had to respond and say, no, that's bullshit. That is not what we said at all. And then Jason Schreier said, oh, wow, if I'd have known that this would blow up so much, yeah, I'm sure, then I would have released the transcript for this. So he did. And what the transcript says is Jason Schreier, doing his absolute best to egg Sven Winke on into saying how much he loves AI and that AI is great and everyone should use it. And Sven Vinke saying, yeah, we did use AI. We're starting to get into looking at AI, basically. And we hired, I think we purchased even a team of concept artists. Because there's a lot of those floating around now that everyone's getting fired to be replaced by AI. So, we were able to get them quite easily because they just lost their fucking jobs. And we were like, okay, so we're going to try AI in terms of white boxing, which is the bare bones level design of just general shapes of what the level is going to look like, of concept art and that sort of thing. Just super back end stuff that people aren't actually going to see.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, okay, so we're trying it out because, that's kind of what you have to do if there are new tools out and everyone's using them, but you're not. This is a cutthroat industry. If you're not using tools and everyone else is and they work, then you're going to fall behind and your studio's going to close. So we actually do need to pay attention to this and see whether this actually works. So we did. And it turns out doesn't really help as much as is advertised. We used it and it worked, but it wasn't really as effective as we thought it would be. It didn't save a lot of time. In fact, when you have a team of skilled artists who can do the job, they will get it right in the amount of time it will take an AI to stop getting it wrong, was basically his take. So yes, he and the company are investigating and experimenting with AI. No, he's not really a big fan. He thinks it kind of doesn't work that well and is only good for the white boxing that I said earlier of basic level design. So yeah, the thing that Jason Schreier said that he said is absolutely not what he said, and it kind of was the exact opposite, aside from the fact that they're experimenting with AI.
Yeah.
That's just... This is kind of my whole problem with the argument and the debate over the issue as it stands. Because at this point, you have people that don't like AI, and they have a lot of legitimate grievances. As you said, it being trained on other people's artwork and them not getting credit or payment for any of it, and the environmental footprint that it has, and just how gigantic corporations are using it to replace all of their workforce in stupid ways, because usually it doesn't work as well as the workers do and makes them look ridiculous as a result. Good reasons. Then on the other side, you have the tech bros and the tech bro allied people who are just like, AI is the perfect tool and everyone should use it and we should all use it for everything in all of our daily lives. I think that's fucking stupid. And then on the other hand, you have the hyperbolic people who disagree with AI, who are like, AI is the devil. We need to destroy all of it. This is the worst thing that has ever happened to humanity. We need to kill it. Anyone that uses it is a traitor to humanity, and we need to scrub them from the earth. And both of those sides look ridiculous, but the people who are trapped in the middle generally have problems with AI, and they get lumped in with the people who want to scourge the entire concept from the planet. And that's not fair because they have good, reasonable concerns and they're getting drowned out by the hyperbolic idiots.
Mm.
That's kind of my problem with this. So, my final point on that would be Jason Schreier, you're not fucking helping. Basically.
Oh yeah. Um, it's it's a whole mess, and I'm personally of the opinion that I would much rather creators not involve the use of it simply because there's been so many issues with it and the ethics of it already that even if you are using it ethically, nobody's going to believe you. Um, and it's something where, as somebody who's working as a teacher, oh man, it is all over the place
Yeah.
to the point where even like my fellow teachers are like, hey, use ChatGPT to create this particular thing and then change it a bit so you have an easy way to create some like resources for a lesson, right?
Mm.
It's uh, so it's just a really like weird time that we live in.
Yeah. Well, I mean, upside, we're probably going to be the skilled workers for the next 30 years because the kids aren't fucking learning anything. If you want to
I'm
call
making
that an
sure they do.
upside, yeah, you're helping.
I'm making sure they do.
Mm.
That being said, I have a friend who's a college professor, and he's like, okay, so I keep failing students because they're submitting their final essay with AI,
Yep.
and it's like a little bit ridiculous because people are just having it write their papers for them, and then you can tell when that's the case.
M dashes, which is annoying for me because I use
Yes.
M dashes.
Then there's some other tools that professors are using to spot it.
Mm.
Um, but it's so prevalent. I like I still think that the games are fantastic, right? Like they're still really well-made games with a lot of creative vision behind them. It's just now I feel like when I talk about, you know, I'm gonna have to be like, well, there's the AI thing, and I have to like put like an asterisk next to it
I would argue you don't,
because
but that's yeah.
I have some friends that are very strongly opinionated about it,
Mm.
and
I just probably insulted a lot of your friends. I apologize, but I stand by the opinion is a little dumb. The extremity of the opinion is a little dumb. Like, calm down. It isn't the end of the world. Would be my argument to them. I'm not them. They are not here to say give their opinion and their side. So I'm not going to go hard on that. And I do kind of apologize because I've kind of gone on a screed, but it's it's something I'm frustrated about is what I'll say.
and um, there's the thing that really stinks is when like a lot of work has been unethically used in training these AI models. And so then that becomes a whole issue of like, if you're an artist, you're like, I don't want to ever support this because they might have stolen the work that I posted on social media one time, and there's no way that I can verify that. So it's like, keep it away, even if you're using it for like, if you're using it for concept art. There's granted, um, I think like some the ones who've used it for concept art have said, "Oh, well, we have actual concept artists on staff. It's just that they, use it to get an idea." But it's just like it's icky territory.
I I would say again that like before AI, they were just looking at actual pictures that already existed that were taken by someone else, and they didn't. These people that made these pictures did not get paid for it. It is a very similar thing.
Hmm. Well, it's kind of a hot topic
Mm,
button right now. So like
yeah.
it's just I'm just gonna say yes, it is a tool. Um if you do use it correctly as a tool, honestly, the chance of it coming out and then the backlash, it's just not worth it, honestly. It's just not worth it. Yes, it will save some time, but also it's like the controversy button, you know?
Mm.
And maybe down the line when things change, but like just don't.
I mean, I did kind of mention how someone has been testing it in appropriate ways of how you are supposed to use it without actively just stealing from people and throwing garbage onto the screen. And it didn't really
Yeah,
help as much as they thought it would. I feel like more testing like that is needed because if it
I
turns
agree.
out, hey, it's just not worth it, then people will stop using it anyway and the conversation is moot.
Yes, agreed. Um, yeah. Anyway, let's move on past that.
Yeah. Like I
Whole
said,
topic makes
getting
me
the crap out of the way, and now we can talk about like happy stuff.
yeah, that whole thing makes me tense.
Yeah.
Um, okay. Can I talk about some stuff?
Yeah, go ahead.
So, as you know, I'm a teacher, which means we are now on winter break, which is great.
Mm,
I don't have to have children in my classroom for 3 weeks, 2.5 technically, but yeah,
yeah.
basically 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna miss them. I am,
Oh.
but I'm gonna love the silence. Um, I don't know if you've ever been in a room with 30 children
Yes,
that
but I
love to
was one of
talk.
them, so.
Yes.
In fairness, I was one
I
of them, but I was also the quietest one, so yeah.
I've I've turned out to be very good. Like I've gotten complimented by my boss on how well I'm good at like improved on like classroom management. Where like I can get them working and it's silent and everyone's focused and it's beautiful, right?
Mm,
Um, it took a lot of effort to get to that point and to understand that. And like one thing that you know, I've had to do is like I don't scream at them. Like I don't shout at them.
mm,
A lot of people would think, well, you raise your voice, you shout at them. That's not the approach that I take. Um, I use a couple of attention getters like clapping in a specific sequence or rhythm, and then they clap too, and other things as well, and I get their attention like that.
mm.
And I try to keep my voice down. Like I am a loud person. I know that if I shout, it is deafening.
Yeah.
Um, and I do shout only on rare occasions, right? If somebody is like really doing something that they need to stop immediately.
Mm. Having been a child,
And
I can say
mm,
shouting is probably counterproductive because if you raise your voice and decide to shout at them, it will get their attention and they will shut up immediately after. But they will also be thinking about and muttering to each other about how you shouted at them for the next 5 to 10 minutes.
now, yeah, exactly. And what my students have said is, no, you don't shout like that other teacher. You get quiet.
Hmm.
Which is, I take the I'm not angry, I'm disappointed approach. And I'm like, you should have made some better choices. And just that sort of thing of holding them accountable for what the decisions that they're making
Hmm.
versus being like, oh, you're making me so mad, rah, rah, rah. Um, and the reason why I bring this up is I think I've said this before, but there's one other male teacher on my teaching team.
Yep.
And recently, he has been reshuffled to a new position, meaning somebody else is coming in to teach his class. He is going to work with small groups with the EL students, the English learner students.
Okay.
Um, he's not happy about that, but you ever like see a like somebody struggling from a distance for like a while, and you're like, hope it turns out better for them, you know?
Hmm.
It's kind of what was happening, right? And I hear things like, oh, well, he shouts at the kids every day and, was like majorly overstimulated by all the everything. and just having a hard time with the class.
Yeah.
So it's a shame because I like the guy, but it was nice to have another male teacher. But now I'm back to being surrounded by women.
Oh no.
You say that, but
Yeah, I know. I'm being the piggish idiot, but that's not really how I feel about that. Like, just to be clear.
you try maintaining conversations with three married women.
In my experience, turn the subject to romance novels and like be aware of that sort of stuff, and you will have fun conversations.
Yeah, the type of novels they read, the romance novels, they don't want to talk to me about.
I mean, you could easily bring up some things that you are aware of, and just be like, "Yeah, I know the score. Don't worry about it," kind of thing.
Anyway, so that means that I'm now going to be the only male teacher on the team again, and it means I get my own cabin on the overnight field trip. Oh, I left because it hurts. So I had that kind of sobering news right as where our holiday party is approaching, and I really set up my room like really nicely. Like I had a tree in there with like a lit up star that was battery operated. I had like lights around the whiteboard and like all sorts of Christmas decorations. I've been every day of the month. I've been having an elf in the classroom that I like hide or have him do little things around the classroom, and the kids love it.
That elf on the shelf thing is weird.
Yes, but they love it because it's always just like it's something to look forward to every day. Of like, what did the elf do last time? What did the elf do this time? Um, so we get the holiday party, and then they're all like they do crafts, they make ornaments, and then we brought in lots of snacks. We had hot cocoa, um, and they had a really nice time. And I got lots of hugs, goodbye, um, and a crap ton of presents from my students, which is really nice.
Oh.
Some really generous. Like one person gave me like a $50 gift card
Hmm.
because it's from the parents, obviously, right?
Yeah, obviously.
And this is their like thanks
like
for
10.
everything. And like I spent like 2 hours the night before that party, like packing up small little gift bags for all of them. Um, and so they had those on their desks when they came in, and so like just it was a beautiful time.
Yeah.
And after work, it's just like, hey, we have a hot cocoa bar set up for staff. Get yourself some hot cocoa, and then you're free to leave whenever you want. You have to stay. You don't have to stay the full day. It's a half day anyway.
Hmm.
And I'm like, drink my hot cocoa, talk to some people, say goodbye, and I'm out.
Hmm.
I'm out for now. I could clean up my classroom, which is an utterly mess and just completely wrecked, but I'll leave that to the custodians right now because I can't. It
Hmm.
was chaotic and loud and like I just want to chill. But I'm finally free, so I
Yeah.
get to catch up on a lot of things that I was behind on, which means that I haven't started it yet, but I did install the most recent patch for ZZZ,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna try to get back to it
Hmm.
in the time that I have, and try to make some progress because I'm so far behind the story.
Yeah.
Not even caring about the polls, just like I just want to play the game and enjoy it.
Well, there's a free character in like a week and a bit, so
Nice.
yeah.
Um, and then a couple of other games updated. Though for Switch, Honkai Star Rail had an update in which it's a continuation of a previous arc, the Penacony arc. But the premise is some of your memories are wrong. Here's the other side of what happened to these other characters, and this fills in a bunch of plot holes from the original story,
Hmm.
which were just you were missing context for a lot of this stuff. And that was really cool. And I really enjoyed it. And they added a new character, which made my favorite character, Firefly, absurdly broken again, which is nice.
Hmm.
So like mechanically, oh, you're a super break team, which means once you break the toughness bar of the enemy, you deal crap ton of damage. And then this new character comes out and says, actually, you can just deal a lot of damage even when they're not broken anymore. You just deal more when they're broken as well. And I'm like, oh, okay. So the main concept behind this team is
Completely worthless. Yeah.
mostly yeah, we're just gonna deal tons of damage. You know what? This is fine. This concept also was a little bit ridiculous because you would have enemies that would lock their toughness bars and be unable to be broken whatsoever
Hmm.
until like a certain time, which really messes up like the end game content. So I'm fine with that. And
Yeah, we kind of got that in reverse with ZZZ. Of just like, hey, here's this new mechanic of like the enemy will basically go super mode and have an extra bar blocking their health bar, and you can't really do damage to them, except for this brand new class that can totally do damage to them anyway, that we're
oh
releasing right now, and there is only one character in it. There's like three, four at this point, so it's better. But, like, yeah, it was a little bit stupid for a while.
yeah, that sounds painful.
Hmm.
So yeah, the patch was overall really good, and it's like as somebody who's a fan of the character Firefly, and it's my favorite character in the game, it was entirely about her. Um, a lot of people were upset because they were like, "This retcons things," right? Um,
Hmm.
but I don't think I think it's an issue of um, comprehension of what the story is actually saying.
Hmm.
It's not that all of this stuff is retconned. It's that like the way that things happened and the way that you initially experienced them are different. There's a mismatch there. Um, without getting too into the specifics, no, it's not a retcon. It's just more context. That's basically what it is. But
Not a retcon, just
it's one
con.
that yes, um, one that I think the story needed because there were some plot points that were like mentioned offhandedly and then never resolved.
You're like, wait, what happened? Hmm.
Like, oh man, Sparkle's setting up all these bombs in Penacony, and then they never get used.
Yeah.
Um, or like, oh hey, this character who was sent off here was rescued off screen. Oh well, we get to see what that actually looked like, you
Hmm.
know.
Yeah.
And I think overall it was really fun and enjoyable. And then also updated was Final Fantasy 14, and this was the big update I was excited for
Hmm.
because they decided, hey, you can just now use all glam items, all items for glam, regardless of class and regardless of eye level of the item. So just go nuts with your fashion,
Hmm.
which is one of the best things they could have done and has made it so I can make all these fun different new outfits using pieces that I always wanted.
I did
And
see
I'm no
your
longer
writer
salty.
character, yes.
Yes. Um, which I posted that in the Discord, and that is three different job restricted sets right there.
Hmm. It looks fucking good.
Thank you. It's scouting, aiming, and casting all combined.
Okay, let me just try and figure out what those would be. It looks like I'm gonna say the hat is the casting.
That's right.
Yeah, go me. Uh, aiming is the top.
That's right.
Yeah. Scouting is the gloves.
Yep. Everything else is scouting.
Yeah, go me.
Yeah, that was perfect. Yes. So the big part about this is that set's undieable.
Hmm.
In fact, in order to get that blue, you have to get it from those specific jobs because the other versions are like green or red.
Ah,
So that particular outfit would be impossible to do without this update.
that's really cool that you can just do that now because that looks fantastic.
I know, right? And I was like, when I was pre-planning my glam, and I was just like, okay, I need to get these pieces together. I already have like most of these pieces. I thought I didn't have the hat, but then I found out I did actually have the hat. It was just not showing up because I was already wearing it on a different class.
Ah, yeah.
Um, because there's an option when you glam things to hide things equipped to gear sets, and that was the option was on. So, like there's a lot of really cool outfits that you can now make because you can mix and match from like certain things that have like parts that are undieable that previously just like or entire like glam pieces are like from dungeons because dungeon stuff is pretty much always undieable.
Hmm.
Um, like that's all dungeon gear.
Yeah.
So this fixes a major issue because people would be like, I want a dieable version of this dungeon gear because I literally cannot create the set that I want to. It also works with job gear, like job specific gear that you get from like 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Those like special artifact job gear sets now can be mismatched as well, which is awesome you can play a white mage who looks like they are a heavy armored paladin. You
Hmm.
know,
Yeah.
um, you can play a dragoon who looks like a dancer. You can play
I mean, a
a
dragoon
ninja.
that looks like a dancer would be a lot more like thematically appropriate to that than like a white mage in heavy plate. I mean,
Yeah,
dragoons are basically pole dancers anyway, if you really think about it.
and the early thaumaturge class, which is the like before you get the job stone for like a healer,
Mm.
has a shield. You can now glam a paladin shield onto that, a high level paladin shield, and it gets really silly.
Okay.
Um, so I've been very, very excited about this. It's reignited my desire to play the game after so long because I'm just like, oh hey, I can just create all these cool sets and I don't have to be salty about anymore because I can just be like, oh, I'll just take this one instead.
Hmm.
Um, the update did come with lots of quality of life stuff for like the glamour dresser and other things and making gathering faster. Like the delay between gathering and when you can move again has shrunken down considerably.
Hmm.
So when you're doing like those gathering jobs, it's super fast. Um, overall, just huge improvements, and they've been kept saying that like, oh yeah, the next like big expansion, we are doing a huge amount of changes to make it feel like an actual new part of the story. You know,
Yeah.
so I don't know what that format's going to take, but I'm very excited for that because this
Hmm.
is all really good stuff.
We will probably know more in a year or so.
Hmm.
A little bit more, not a lot, but more.
Yeah, and the patch story itself did a really good job of expanding on one of the characters who kind of got shafted from the initial expansion,
Hmm.
and that made me feel good. And I did the new trial, which is against it's a big train. It's a big train with a face, and it's really fun fight because like as you're fighting it, it's destroying the train cars, causing you to be like jumping over to the next train car
Just
because
gonna
you're on a
note.
train and it's on a train.
Just gonna note. I have Thomas the Tank Engine theme running through my head right now.
Yes, you should play that while you do this fight. It
Da,
is
da, 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 da.
it's an incredibly silly fight and I love it. It's super fun. Like, yeah, no, this is really good content. It's I'm not quite like back to the point where I was throwing tons of hours into the game anymore
Hmm.
because working a full-time job will do that to you.
Yep.
But it's enough to make me want to jump in and, you know, put some time in it. It's just it takes so long to do anything in this game.
Hmm.
And I know it's not nowhere near as bad as like other MMOs, but even so,
Hmm.
it's just I want to go do a dungeon that's like 30 minutes
I feel
that
like
I
you're
can't walk
sort
quit.
of trying sideways to bait me back into playing, just a little bit. Uh,
I'm not actually. I'm just talking about my
Fair
experience.
enough. Like, yeah, I am in a period of belt tightening at the moment, so that's not on the cards for the time being. But we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, no, don't worry about it. Point is, I'm just having fun,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna in a few weeks they're gonna release the new Savages, which are gonna be the last of this tier until the next expansion. So that's the last raids as it is
Hmm.
in terms of like your 8 man. I'm still not gonna have to grind to get the relics because it's you gotta get your relic weapon. And I'm like, I don't want to do that. RNG drop of a specific item that I can get from spending hours grinding
Hmm.
is kind of not ideal at all. I don't like grinding like that. It's bleh.
Yeah, there are people
Um,
that like
speak
that, and it's fine for them. But
speaking of grinding, the Pokemon ZA DLC came out, and ooh boy!
mm,
Now I like catching shiny Pokemon. I've already caught a few shiny Pokemon. They got my hair Pokemon in there. That's great, awesome. I beat the main story of Pokemon Legends ZA, and that's awesome. I enjoyed my time with it. Now it's like, hey, you can now get the legendaries. In order to do the legendaries, may I interest you in some grinding? You needed 25,000 points to get to the next main story mission. You need 70,000 points to get to this legendary. that you probably already have from a different game in Pokemon Home. That's shiny locked, because most of them are shiny locked. So get grinding then. And every time you go into one of these like mega dimension rifts, you need to use a donut, which you get by getting rare items that you find by exploring these rifts. And so that gives you a timer. So you're on a timer in these rifts to catch Pokemon or battle or whatever to get points, and then find more berries to replenish the amount that you just used.
This
And
does not sound fun.
no, it's not. It was enjoyable when I was like, oh, what new Pokemon am I going to find here? And, ooh, maybe I'll find a shiny. And I'm just running around and catching stuff. Um, but when you have now, like, triple the amount of points that I need to get, and I have to go through how many of these rifts? And keep using the rare ingredients that I keep getting to enter them. Because if I use less ingredients, it makes the timer even shorter. It just becomes unfun. So yeah, it was enjoyable, but the post DLC game is not so. And I've seen a lot of other people echoing my complaints on that. So yeah, that's it in terms of the games that I've been playing. Because well, I had a lot of preparation for the holiday party on top of like things updating at the same time. So I've not had much time to game. I did get a crap ton of candy from my students, and I did eat a little bit too much of it, which is not great for my health goals.
Yeah.
Plus, I live in California, so it's like cold and rainy outside right now.
That
I'm like,
is
oh hey,
that is not a correlation that would make sense to most people.
it's cold and rainy outside, so I cannot walk outside.
Yes.
Unless I'm willing to brave through that, and I'm eating more, so then that's not good. Basically, I gotta watch it and look for my opportunities to go and take walks and exercise.
Like it's
I hit a new
California, so it's
lowest.
cold and rainy right now. It was like every state that is north of you is giving you a funny look.
Yeah, it's like 40 degrees out, which I mean, cold but not the coldest. I know that from experience. So I am still walking out there. It's just like, um, and I did hit a new lowest weight. Like I actually did lose weight, and then I ate candy, and then I gained weight. So that's the moot point.
Yeah.
Self-control, self-control.
Self-control.
It's hard. They got like all of my favorite candies in like huge bags, and I'm like, thank you. That's so generous of you. I thought I said to get healthy snacks, kids.
Yeah, well, it's Christmas, and that's unavoidable. And then after that, you can be as health conscious as you want for the next 8 months.
Yeah, it's just kind of disappointing. I set a goal that I wanted to hit before the end of the year, and I'm definitely not hitting it.
Well, goals are goals. They're ambitions. They're, targets to aim for. And if you don't hit them, then at least you made progress.
Yeah. Um,
Just keep setting
the
goals.
good news is, I say this, but I can now wear a belt that I previously could not wear because it was too small, which is progress. And I've been continuing to lift weights. The 40-pound dumbbells are feeling a bit light, so I might need to go up to something heavier because I'm getting strong, and it's not something I want to buy right now. So I'll just make do. But yeah, gonna be catching up on a lot of things. I know I have Hades 2 downloaded. I still gotta play that.
Fun game.
I have a list of games that I need to play that I could not play, and we'll see if I actually get through them. I'm probably not going to, but I'll try my best. But that's me.
Yeah. As I mentioned, in belt tightening mode, so I'm not buying any new games at all for a while. That said, I did buy some new games recently. That was
okay,
before
what'd you get?
I decided on belt tightening, so that doesn't count. people on another server I frequent were talking a lot of Mega Man, and I mentioned I was like, oh, I tried Mega Man once, but as far as I'm aware, I like entered at the worst point in the series. I tried Mega Man 7 because it was the one that was most available to me, and they're like, yeah, that's probably the worst one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically got talked into buying looking at some of the Mega Man collections that are on Steam that happened to be 60% off at the time. So
Yeah.
that was nice. So I bought all of them.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh boy.
I bought all of them except for the original Mega Man because I don't really give a shit about original Mega Man.
That's fair. That's entirely fair. Other people might say that's not fair, but me, I'm gonna say that's fair.
Like I did a wiki walk just for like timeline's sake. Like I know Mega Man's not a massively story focused game, or at least it isn't in the 90s, which is where I'm starting. But like Mega Man original run games just do not have story. It's Dr. Wily is doing something fucky. Go beat his robots. Yay. And then he gets away. Or a mysterious Mr. X is doing a fucky, and it turns out it's Dr. Wily, and he's like,
There's some details that are important, but for the most part, like you're right on that.
yeah.
Mega
I
Man
I did look at the whole
11.
timeline for the original
Yeah.
run, which does include 9, 10, and 11. So it was very interesting to see the very sudden jarring shift in how the narrative works from like 8
Yeah.
to 9. Of like, hey,
Yep.
it's Dr. Wily is harvesting an evil meteor for evil energy to make evil robots. And then the next one is like, so there are a lot of robots and they don't die, so we need to mandate euthanasia for them after a certain period of time. And they're like,
Yes.
no,
Yes.
wait.
Yeah. So yeah, the a lot of the story stuff started coming in with Mega Man X and Mega Man
Yeah.
Legends and such.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So, like I say, I bought both X collections. I bought the Zero and ZX collection. I bought
Great.
both Battle Network collections. I think that was what that was.
Yeah. That one is
Yeah, it's a spin-off alternate timeline where apparently, if the way it was explained to me, if Dr. Light has sex, then he doesn't care about robots and gets really into the internet instead.
the way I would say with Battle Network is those games vary wildly in quality.
Hmm.
So like just a heads up
Yeah.
because there's some stuff in there that you can probably skip.
Yeah. So I played X1
Okay.
functionally to completion, is what I'm going to say.
Okay.
Because I did everything in the base game. It was kind of cool. Yep, enjoyed it. It was very old school game design. There's a lot of Nintendo hard bullshit that I didn't appreciate, but that's how it is. You kill an enemy and then you step back to retreat from a different enemy, and then you progress again and the enemies respawn, because that's just how the memory works for those games. And like, not a fan, but yeah. So I played through that, beat all the robots, got to Sigma's Castle, beat all the stages of Sigma's Castle, and got to the last stage. I tried it and beat the dog, got my ass kicked by basic Sigma, and was like, okay, I'll come back to this later. And if you played X1, you know where this is going. So I come back to it later, load my save, which they implemented a save system instead of forcing you to memorize the passwords, which I appreciate. But the thing is, the save system does not save your progress through Sigma's Fortress. So I was right back at stage 1 of Sigma's Fortress and would have to do the entire thing again.
Yep.
At this point, I decided, fuck it, I'm watching the ending on YouTube. And that's fine. I'm okay with not having to fight that fight. It's fine. Whatever.
Okay.
But I did enjoy it. It was a fun game. uh, Nintendo era, well, SNES era bullshit aside, uh, I will probably get to X2 at some point. I understand that what I experienced is a problem that will persist until X4.
I can tell you right now, okay, one of my favorite games of all time is Mega Man X4.
Fair enough.
X4 is fantastic. Um, it is just genuinely a really good experience, and it's also the game where you get to play as Zero,
That's a,
namesake.
yeah.
Um, and that is a very fun experience.
Hmm.
That is different from like playing as X, to the point that there's different bosses and different cutscenes,
Hmm.
as well as entirely different power ups and everything.
Yeah.
And it's fun to try to fight the bosses using a sword instead of a gun.
Hmm. Interesting. Yeah. So I will continue going through. I mean, I paid the money for it, so I'm gonna continue going through those.
Okay.
Belt tightening means you go through a backlog. Uh, so yeah. Uh, X2 is obviously next. I am told that is way harder than X1. Fair enough. We will see how it goes. It's fine, whatever. And yeah, so that's a bit of like video game history that I will be rediscovering over the course of
Nice.
time. Yeah.
Worst case scenario, just jump ahead to X4.
uh,
I don't. The Zero games are also like really genuinely really good, though. Like, there's some elements to them that are like Zero One is rough, but Zero Two is much better.
hmm.
Um, so like if you're not driving with Zero One, it's fine to jump ahead.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, like please enjoy what you can. The reason why Mega Man is such a like a man, we want to bring things back is because Mega Man has a history of inconsistent quality.
Mm.
Which is why it vanishes so often. Is they'll like release some really good games, and then there'll just be like a string of bad games. So,
Yeah. Aside from that,
aside from that,
yeah, bringing it back. It was my mom's birthday
oh,
but a few days ago. Fuck it.
happy birthday to your mother.
Yeah. So went round, had dinner, got well, she bought herself a set of screwdrivers because she needed them, and a specific perfume set thing that she really likes and has a hard time finding. So she bought those, and we're like, okay, those can be gifts to me. It's fine. I'm like, okay, cool. That saves me shopping, but also I want to contribute to your birthday, like myself. So I bought a box of very nice chocolates that she likes as well. And so we got into a conversation. She knows I write and stuff, and so she decides to talk about what she's been reading. We get into a conversation. I think the last time I was around before this, I got into a gigantic like fucking tirade about Expedition 33 because I needed to talk about that game at the time.
Yeah.
With anyone. And this kind of opened up the floodgates for us talking about stories, which is really cool because it's my entire life, basically, at this point, is stories.
Yes.
So she gets talking to me about how one of her coworkers likes to recommend her things. And she tells me about this romance novel. This is why I brought it up earlier. That she has been reading of just like she literally used the words reverse harem.
Oh. Oh.
Yep, those were words she used and a term she knew and understood.
Okay.
I don't know what the book was called, but it is apparently a fantasy thing where there is a girl who gets kidnapped by demons and has her heart taken out and replaced by a shadow heart. Yes, I giggled at the term shadow heart. And she has to romance a bunch of dudes from a magical zoo, not literally a magical zoo, but they're all like fantasy monster archetypes, like there's a dragon shifter and all that shit.
Yeah.
And if she doesn't, then the world's going to be fucked or something along those lines. But she
Oh,
can't because she has no heart and all that stuff.
So it's the world God only knows. Got it.
Yeah. So that was my fun introduction into understanding. My mom is reading some anime-ass bullshit. Just like straight up.
Yeah, yeah.
And also that she has been recommended some stuff, let's say, by this coworker who has been like, oh, this one's a little rough, this one's be like warning going in. She's like, yeah, okay. And she's like, reads the first book and is like, yeah, it's a bit much. But it was this conversation that made me realize, hey, she's into some anime-ass bullshit, and she is kind of okay with some of the fucky stuff. So I recommended her a little series that some people might have heard of called Berserk.
Oh. What? You... Okay. I need to know how this went.
So, we spend about an hour talking about this, and I'm not explicit with details except a couple things that I am very explicit about. Like, hey, some bad things happen to characters and they do not want them to happen, and I'm not going to be any more explicit than that on this recording, but I was more explicit to her of telling her what was things that were going to happen in this, and that if that was a big deal breaker, then we can steer clear. But she's like, no, I get it, because the way I pitched it to her was the way Eyepatch pitched it to everyone else, which was, this is kind of a story of healing. This is a story of people going through the absolute worst shit and still finding the strength to come back from it.
Okay.
That was how I pitched it to her. And that is what that story is. Like, I'm not going to, like, that's just what that story is. And she's like, okay, how do I read it? And this is where we came into some fucking struggles. So, it's a little tricky to find a way to read it in a way that most people would read books. Because it's a manga, for one thing. And because it's Japanese media, and Japanese media do not understand how to distribute in terms of the ways people actually consume media nowadays. For the most part. Shonen Jump is getting better. But Berserk is not Shonen Jump. So, we do some research. And it seems like just getting the deluxe editions is probably the easiest way. So I bought the first 2 deluxe editions. Did I mention I'm in like belt tightening mode like earlier? I feel like I mentioned that.
Yeah, I can.
I'm
I can
bad
see
at that.
Why. That's...
I'm bad at that. So, but if she ends up liking it, well, even if she doesn't end up liking it, then that's kind of like birthdays and Christmases sorted out for a good long while, because there's like 14 books or something. So, yeah, I have bought those, and I'm going to bring those around on Christmas, and she can enjoy those at her leisure. And then when she's done reading them, we can talk about them, for one thing. So that's going to be cool, going to be fun. And then I can have them, because, you know, the way I read Berserk, at least as far as I got, was through scanlation sites, which suck. They are just bad experiences for reading that story.
Yes.
Because Gatsu and Grifisu and reordering chapters because the scanlator decided that makes the story flow better, and they're fucking wrong, and all that kind of shit. And it was just a bad experience that completely ruined a lot of the biggest moments of the story. So it will be nice to experience those as, you know, an actual real experience of that story. I'm going to have to get a better magnifier. But, yeah. So that is the plan going forward. I really hope she likes it. You know, like, I'm not going into this to be like, oh, I'm gonna shock horror her. Like, I'm hoping that she's okay with it. And I've told her if she's not, then that's fine, because it's a rough one. but I
Yep,
believe
that's
what I have said about it is accurate. That it is a story of healing, and it's worth reading. Mm.
yeah. Well, you can only really hope because it is like it's not even an acquired taste. It's either it's you can take it or you can't.
Yep.
And if you can't, it's completely understandable.
Yeah. Yeah. I may
Well,
have been halfway convinced to even try recommending it because of that one old man that read it and like posted his thoughts on YouTube.
yeah. It's sort of thing where like I see certain like games or media and I'm like, would my parent like this? And the answer is if it's my dad, typically probably yeah. If it's my mom, it's a different ball game.
Mm.
So
Yeah,
me
I'm
and my
going to be
dad are very
honest.
similar.
If it was my stepdad, I probably would not have even considered recommending this.
Yeah. But you know what you can do.
Yeah.
I still want a DM for my family at one point. I feel like that'll be fun.
Yeah. Hmm. I did for my sister and brother-in-law once. It was not a great experience, but that was because I'm a shitty DM. So you would certainly fare a lot better than I did.
I've gotten a lot better over the years of practice. Like I kind of want to do at least like a. It'd be nice if we could get a Phantom Flux one shot at one point because I think that'd be fun.
We tried. It didn't really work through.
Yeah, but I was way less experienced back then and had
Mm.
no idea what I was doing.
Mm.
Um,
We were
so
using what
like
was it, Roll 20 or something? It's just like
yeah,
a bit of online software that I don't think any of us understood.
I understand it much better now, and I can install macros to make it way easier to use.
Mm.
And like I've modded the crap out of my thing. If you were to look at my games, uh they've been going on for long enough that they don't resemble D&D at some points. Which is not what I would do to anybody that was new to it that I was DMing for, but just like it's gotten a little bit silly. Uh,
Mm.
anyway,
So yeah,
you excited for 2026?
I'm excited for 2025 to be over.
Yeah.
Like we said when we opened the podcast of just like yeah.
I'm excited for my nephew to use more full sentences. He's already getting pretty good at it, of saying
Well,
words.
mm, well, you did mention this last time of like how he's using those words
Yes.
for what purpose
And
he is using those words.
he's saying like he's learning and it's great. And he's also learning to pick up his and put away his own toys, which is really great.
Hmm.
Because not being able to put away your own toys is makes everybody else have to pick up your toys for you.
Hmm.
Anyway,
Yeah,
yeah,
I think that's an episode. It's a good
I
episode.
think that's an episode.
Yeah. So, Discord, Patreon links in the description. Feel like it, you know.
Yeah, have a great rest of your year, everybody.
Yeah, for the, like 2 days that will be left of it by the time this episode comes out. So it's
You're gonna release it that early? Wow,
yeah,
on
it's
time.
weird. It's wild. Anyway, bye everybody.
Bye.
Happy New Year. We'll go with that one because it's not going to be Christmas
Merry
anymore.
Christmas and a Happy
It's
New
not going to be
Year.
Christmas anymore.
That's okay. I'm still gonna wish him a happy Christmas.
Okay. Bye everybody.
Bye.